What's up, people? That's right. It's Totally Local Podcast, Monmouth County, Ocean County's most exclusive, lovely, live podcast that you've ever seen, covering the most important, colorful characters, local businesses, entrepreneurs, everybody you want to meet and see, talking about local topics, national topics that affect people locally, the beach, the sun, the bennies, everybody, and everything you could imagine all around this Jersey Shore. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron Levine, LG Insurance. What's up, man?
I can't believe you said all that in one breath.
That's right.
Take a deep breath.
Kevin Guilford.
Thanks for having me here.
How's it going? Coldwell
good,
banker, real estate.
Yeah.
How's the biz?
Business going good. This summer has been very active. We're seeing a lot of activity.
It's amazing.
It really has.
You never know what's gonna happen. Where the hell are we, Aaron?
We're at the Oceanport Paddle Club in
That's right.
beautiful Oceanport, New Jersey. I think we can see the boats behind us. I just did my my Facebook share, and I'm looking at us right now, and it looks like a green screen actually behind us.
It's so beautiful. It looks like a green screen.
You can't tell it's real, but
that's right. This isn't a Zoom call. This is real.
We're on site this week at the OPC, thanks to Kevin Guilford. Kevin and I were rapping about 2 weeks ago, and we're like, hey, when are we going to get together? When are we going to see people? Like, enough of this Zoom stuff, even though we still need to continue to do
Every
it
now and then.
So we're like, hey, let's do a live event. Let's invite some people. We've got some people rolling over here to the OPC this afternoon. We're going to get some paddling done, have a few drinks. We got some Sea Dragon to get started.
Big shouts, Jeff from Asbury Park Brewery.
We're stoked to be here. So thanks, Kevin, for putting this idea together and connecting us with Chris to go live.
I was a little unsure at first because I was like, paddle club, what kind of freaky shit are these people into? But then I realized paddle boards, so I appreciate that a lot. This is beautiful weather. How'd you connect with Chris, the owner? How do you just look him up or what?
I know Chris through town here in Oceanport, and he's a great guy. It's been a great opportunity to have the paddleboard and kayaking here in Oceanport. My wife and I actually came here this summer a couple times because it was a great way to social distance with friends and do something active and feel a little bit normal. So when we talked to Aaron, tried to find something we could do on a local level and still, see people, I thought this would be a great idea. So I'm really appreciative to Chris to get this going for us, and glad you guys can come out and help us out with this.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean, what a great idea. Like, so talk about socially distant. You're out on the paddleboard. There's nobody around you, and you're outside. Checkmate, nature. We figured it out.
We figured it out. All we have to do is stay on the river. A couple more weeks left of summer. Life is good. But Kevin, you got out in such a crazy real estate market. Like, it must feel good to take an afternoon off.
It has been very crazy, and it was a lot to take this afternoon off, but I appreciate it. It's much needed, we'll say.
What's now, for those that don't know, Oceanport is like a hidden gem in and around this Monmouth County area. Like, people are like, oh, Oceanport, you don't really think about it, but it's beautiful. You get these waterfront or water adjacent homes and stuff. Pretty nice area. What do you, as far as things that are being sold right now or you're getting calls on, is it like investment properties? Is it like 300,000 range, 500,000 range, or is it just kind of like all over the place?
It's a great question. We've seen a huge range from 300,000 up to millions of dollars right now. What we're finding is a lot of people that want to leave the lifestyle they're leading now and come into a more relaxed atmosphere. You're getting a lot of people from North Jersey, New York City, Brooklyn coming down and buying residential properties or second properties, so they have a place to go and have some space to get out in.
People are beating feet out of the city.
Beating feet. In June, I think they had 500,000 people leave Manhattan.
That's wild. Yep. That is insane. Because you watch, I don't know if you guys are on the talk, but I'm on the talk. And I do follow, I'm not watching like, dance routines and stuff like that. I follow the ultra exciting world of like real estate, commercial real estate, marketing stuff. But people are putting these videos up on there, and it's just like, at the end of the month, there was all these beds and furniture on the street, like, because people are just like, all right, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm leaving all my crap, and I'm coming down to Jersey or wherever they're going, But what's the inventory, though? If all these people are coming down...
And that's one of the biggest things right now is there is no inventory.
Yeah.
The inventory is very, very limited, and there's a ton of buyers. So as a seller, right now is the time to sell. I just listed a property this weekend that'll be going live on Saturday in Middletown that I'm sure will be gone by Monday. That it's just the second something hits the market, it's gone.
Cash offers or like
You're
cash
getting
is king, right?
Cash is great. Strong mortgage buyers are great, but really, you're getting all sorts of buyers right now, from VA loans with 0% down to cash buyers to traditional, conventional 20% down borrowers. So it's everybody.
What are all right, so what are people to do? You're in Jersey, it's like a Bruce Springsteen video. You're in Jersey your whole life. Your jean jacket's salty. You want to stay around here, but your grandmother foreclosed on her house. There's nothing around. What are you going to do? Are people just going to pick up and move down to Whiting and Forked River? Like, what can you do if your price range is, say, 200 to 300,000, 250 to 300,000? I don't think you're going to find anything in the glorious county of Monmouth. You're going to have to take a step down and go to Ocean, right?
There are some spots still in Monmouth, if you go west, that you can find some things in that.
Freehold?
Like Freehold area. Allentown, there's a couple things. Farmingdale, there might be a few things.
Farmingdale's nice.
You get into Jackson, out to Howell. I just closed on a property yesterday for $294,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
How long did that deal, somebody contacted you from start to finish? How long did that particular deal take to?
50 days.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
That is wild. Isn't that wild?
Quick.
Yeah.
The market is fast right now.
It's fast.
It's sight unseen. The best meme on the internet right now is remember, there's a realtor meme. It's remember when you were looking for toilet paper in March? That's what it's like trying to find a house right now.
Yeah, you can.
You're going to take what you can get. You're going to take that 1-ply house and you're going to buy it for whatever price tag is on it.
Exactly.
And listen, people, this is a little tip from somebody that knows a little too much to give a shit and a little too less to care. But don't go on Zillow and look at properties. And I'm not just saying that because Kevin's here. He didn't ask me to do this. This is unprompted. But seriously, if you're on Zillow, the inventory is not accurate. They do not have accurate information on Zillow because they're not a real estate agency. That's not how it works. If you want to get accurate stuff, you have to go through an agent. You have to get onto a website that's connected directly to the local MLS. That's what you have to do in order to find the best stuff. And honestly, Kevin, you're definitely going to agree with me on this, but isn't it better I don't even know I'm asking this, but isn't it better just to contact an agent? Because you got the inside scoop on stuff, you know?
It is, and there's things that, like you said, on Zillow that are misleading sometimes.
Inaccurate.
You'll see things that are pre-foreclosure, foreclosure, and those things aren't necessarily for sale. And we get a lot of interest in those items, but it misleads the public on what the actual inventory looks like. So the best thing is to contact an agent. Go to a site like KevinGSellsNJ.com.
Boom.
And see the inventory. Our sites are tied up to the IDX, so you'll get all the MLS information, and you'll be able to get what's really out there.
And plus, you got to get somebody with their feet on the ground, with their eye, looking around, seeing what's going on, ear to the streets, because you hear stuff. Some people don't even some people, from what I understand, they'll be working with an agent, and they might not even put it on the MLS right away, but it's out there, You got to be sneaky, and you got to The market's kind of been like this for a while, where people are scooping stuff up in Monmouth and Ocean County. But now it's a whole nother level. There's nothing left, people. You got to go in quick.
Yeah, and you're right, though.
More money.
Yeah,
exactly. No, and you're right, though. A lot of agents, we have listings that aren't necessarily on the MLS, or we know sellers that don't want to list their property right now for whatever reason, whether it's they don't want their kids to know, or they might be going through some personal things, or they just want to get a temperature for what the market's doing but are open to selling. So you're not going to see those properties online anywhere, but we do have knowledge of those properties.
So wait, they don't want their kids to know? They're just going to change the locks one day and be like,
oh yeah,
that's it.
We sold the house. You're supposed to be in college, but you're quarantined somewhere else. And
it's time to make some money.
That's it. Sometimes
see you later.
Kids, they can get emotional over these things, so they don't really want to know that.
It's a great time to downsize.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great time to. So I've got a question for Kevin. We have a great view behind us, but you have a building on the oceanfront that you've been representing that has pretty good views also.
It's amazing views over there. 365 Ocean is a new build, a condo building with 57 units in there. We're about 65% sold out right now. They're all 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
What's the range?
Range is low 900s to 2.7 million for the penthouse.
Pocket change.
Yeah, nothing.
3-bedroom with a den, 2.5-bath penthouse. Beautiful views of the Atlantic. Every unit has views of the Atlantic Ocean. It's got a infinity plunge pool, beautiful club room. None of that's open right now,
but give us your $2.75 million and it'll be open someday.
Soon
We'll
enough.
get there. We'll get there.
How do we do a live podcast from the rooftop deck over there?
let's get that going.
We'll make that happen. Let's do that. It's going to be early morning though
After
for that
Labor
sunset,
Day.
right? We're going to do 6 a.m.
Wow, that
Sunrise.
morning edition.
Nice.
We can do
Sunrise.
that.
Yep, there we go.
Oh man, we're all psyched. I didn't get to mention before. Epic shouts to Ming from a Shared Universe podcast studio, always helping us out when we're remote, working out so well here. The OPC. This is beautiful. This is a good time.
We could sit here all day. We could keep the cameras rolling
We're gonna.
for as long as Andrew's battery survives us right now.
Or a little longer.
This real estate market is great. I love sitting here. I love the market. Staff is working great. We're writing a lot of new insurance for a lot of new people moving to town, and from oceanfront to inland, it's all good stuff.
What's up with that tornado, man? Did you
Took out my washing machine and some light switches in my house.
Oh, yeah?
So not a fun time. My wife is not happy that I'm sitting here drinking beer while she has 12 loads of laundry that she can't do.
Oh, man.
But I love you.
Is there any aftermath from all the storms that are going? People still calling you about trees and whatnot?
The tree calls have definitely slowed down a little bit. The food spoilage has slowed down a little bit.
Come on, people. Tell them about the food spoilage. Tell them what they should be doing. Please,
we
Aaron,
don't like
please.
the food spoilage. Don't put that food spoilage claim in. It's just going to jack your rates up later to get that $250 to $500.
Your rates are going to go up, people.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. Man.
Not worth it.
Yeah. Buy more non-perishable items. Get cans of food or
So right now my washing machine just went. I think from yesterday's storm there was a little surge in my house. Power went out.
Crazy.
New machine, $800. I don't think I'm going to put the claim in. I don't want the hit. Even I've got a $500 deductible on my equipment in my house. For $400 from the insurance company, not worth putting the ding on my record. I'm not going to take the increase, and I'm just not going to take the hit. That's me personally. Some people want to, need it, but I'm gonna pay my due and call it a day.
People need to have a reality check calculator somewhere on a website to be like, you want to save, you lost $250 worth of food, so you're going to put this claim in, and how much are you going to be spending in the long run at the end of this year, the end of next year when your rates start going up. People are not thinking clearly.
And I get that, and it's okay, right? Our job is to help people and assist people when they need it. It's not our job to determine claims and adjust claims and make decisions for people. We're there to guide, and those that choose to use our guidance is great. Those that choose to go against our guidance, I'm okay with that too. Everybody's got to make their own decisions. We want to be as professional as possible and provide as much education as we possibly can. When it comes claim time, when it's not claim time, we just want to be there. And if we can help, great. If not, that's okay too. I'm not going to be mad at anybody for doing what they're doing, as long as they don't get mad at me when the rate goes up. It's got to go both ways, and we have to document very well about what's going on and just be there for people, because we need to answer questions. People need our help, and that's what my staff is fantastic with. Is helping people when they need to ask questions, and we guide them, and then ultimately people make their own decisions, so it's all good.
That's something that comes up too in real estate, where as far as guiding decisions, due to your fiduciary responsibilities, real estate talk, due to your fiduciary responsibilities, you could only guide them. You can't really, you could inform them, but you can't make them, if they're doing something dumb, you can't be like, hey, you're doing something dumb. But in a situation where, and this happens a lot, I know, where somebody's trying to sell their home and you know what it's worth. Maybe in this market it doesn't matter because people will pay crazy prices, but you know what it's worth, and you mentioned sentimentality before. That comes into play where you're like, listen, we did the comps, we saw that your house is worth $450,000, and old Betty Spaghetti's like, I don't think so. I think it's worth $600, whatever she says. How do you kind of inform them without kind of slapping them around a little bit? How do you inform them of what the actual real value? How do you get them to understand what the real actual value through comps, or what do you kind of introduce to them?
Sure, and that happens a lot, right? Where people think that their homes are worth a certain price, and it might not be true either side of that. But it is. It's looking at comps. It's looking at what's going on in the market, what houses have updates versus what they might have, and explaining finding out what their goals really are. If their goals are to get out as quick as possible or to get out in a timely manner, then it's trying to show them how we're going to reach their goals by pricing it correctly. If it's a test the market situation, okay, maybe we can do a little bit more, but try to explain to them where, why other places are selling what they're selling for, what the square footage pricing might be. Location's a big part of it, and it's just about having an open conversation. Sometimes it works, and sometimes they're stuck and say we won't do it. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of times that I've said, I've turned down a listing because it's priced too high, and
it's not worth your time. You're wasting your time, and like people
it's not worth their time either, really.
Well, it kind of like it harkens back to the whole perishable foods and stuff in your fridge and putting in a claim for that. Like people don't have the foresight to realize, look, you're paying on this house every month, so eventually it might not be this month or next month, but eventually you're going to be losing thousands and thousands of dollars just by sitting here anyway. And the longer you wait, like the lower and lower and lower, like it makes it more difficult. I've heard about this. I have a real estate family, so I've heard about this my whole life, and I'm always interested in how people approach it. It seems like the best way to do it is like, look, I can't work with you. Go find, somebody else to.
Well, and there are agents that will do that. They'll come in and they'll even quote a higher price off the comps just to get the listing. And those are agents you don't necessarily work with either. Again, depending on what your goals are and what you want to achieve. And you got to be careful of that. If you're looking at it and saying my house should be worth somewhere between $5 and $550 in this market, but this agent's telling me I'm going to sell it for $750, you want to question that. And if other agents are coming in and in your $550 range, why is this guy so much better that he's going to get me $200,000?
Yeah.
Is he just out to get the listing and get those buyers through the door for other properties he has, or is he going to really try and sell your house? And that's really what you want to look at.
It's hard not to take that bait, though. It's hard not to. If as a seller, you're like, oh well. And then 6 months later, you're like, I guess I need a new agent.
Yeah,
right.
I guess. Man, what a game! I can't. It's high stakes. It's like a lot of pressure. It's when you get that deal signed and everyone's happy. It's a beautiful thing. But leading up to that, especially in this nice weather, it's fun. Everyone's having a good time. What about this? What about that? What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do about the roof? All right, I'll give you a little this, a little this. What about the percentage? Yada yada yada. In this nice weather, but people, it's about to get kind of cold out. It's about to hit the fall.
Don't go there. Don't go. Don't go.
I'm getting goth. I'm getting too dark on you. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, beautiful weather. When people call you from out of town and they're like, "Hey, how's it going? I want to live down in Mom County." Where are they? Like, what town are they like? I want to live in this town.
Today's like the Benny Go Home podcast.
I love the Bennies. Right? Never go home. Come on in, spend your money, buy the big houses, buy whatever you want. As long as you're respectful. I love you guys. The economy loves you guys. How you doing? Come on in. Come on, have some fun.
Local tourism, we need it.
Yeah.
I mean, we thrive on it. We thrive on it. I need it.
So what do you do when Tony Baloney's calling you up? What's the town that he's looking for?
We're getting anything from Long Branch to Asbury, Spring Lake. They're coming down. I'm saying North Jersey, New Yorkers are coming down. And this is where they're coming to. They want to be on the beach. A lot of people have told me they want to change their lifestyle. They don't want to be in a high-rise building where there's no outside living. God forbid we get locked down again come October, November.
Well, I mean,
they want to have space.
You mentioned Spring Lake. That's like a hidden gem. Like either you know about it or you don't. And like those houses now got to be like a lot of money.
It's insane. There was a house that just sold down in Spring Lake for $2.4 million.
What?
And they're knocking it down to build another house.
They're like, I don't want this. This is a tiny.
This house is built in 1700s.
Yeah,
and
we don't want
17 bedrooms, but we're knocking it down.
Oh man!
Yeah. So unless you have multiple seven figures, that hidden gem is not in your pocketbook.
No. Yeah, it's very hidden.
But there are some great gems around here that are in people's pocketbooks, and Oceanport being one of them. West Long Branch, even parts of Long Branch that are still very achievable and up and coming areas.
What are the people like? Okay, so people are selling. Obviously, if there's buyers, there's sellers. The sellers that are around here, where are they going? Are they going out west? What are they? Ohio? Where are they going to buy stuff?
North Carolina.
Yeah, that's true.
We're seeing a lot of people downsizing. People are going down south to North Carolina.
My cousin's going down there.
Yep. I've seen some people going out to Pennsylvania, but we just did Colts Neck. Went down to Lakewood. We just did
really Colts Neck to
Colts Neck,
Lakewood.
Lakewood,
Wow.
Marlboro coming into our building in
Yeah.
Long Branch. We're seeing some of those. Some of the Rumson Marlboro estates that are getting sold are coming into the Long Branch new builds.
They're downsizing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Downsize to oceanfront. I mean,
What the hell are we
there's
still
nothing,
doing?
there's
What are we
nothing
doing
wrong with
here?
that. We got to make some money. We got to. We need some more sponsorship.
Oh man. Well, this has been great. I'm so glad that you guys kind of set this up. That we have people coming in. We have John
Chris?
from Serve Pro. We have Chris. Hey, he's talking to his clientele out there.
Chris is making money. Kevin,
Cool.
All right.
thank you.
Kevin, thank you so
thanks for
much.
having me.
We'll see you on the water.
I'll
Yeah.
see you in a few minutes. Thanks,
Don't
guys.
fall in. We'll be
See you, bud. All right.
Chris.
Kevin, are you going to put a demonstration on with those e-foils behind us? I mean,
Yeah. Once you guys are done, I'll get it out there. I'll tear it up for you.
So Oceanport Paddle Club. We're here with the owner proprietor Chris. How's it going, man?
It's going well. Thank you for setting this event up and coming here. You got a pretty good thing going.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you mentioned when I first came in, and Aaron just mentioned those. They're not like a normal paddle board. It's like a foil. You could what are you getting on those? Like 75, 80 knots on that? What are you hitting on those?
Yeah. So I'm more of a miles per hour kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
And so you can get up to like 30 miles per hour.
Whoa, that's like crazy on
Yeah.
like a paddle board.
Well, it's more like a surfboard. So
Okay.
it's your classic hydrofoil, where back in the 70s, those big yachts had them, and they would lift up out of the water, and basically it cuts down on all that friction and surface water tension, and it's just a seamless, no turbulence kind of ride through the water, no matter how much chop there is. And you're almost 3 feet above the surface of the water on a surfboard, just
Really?
flying. Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
saw Ming start drooling. He's like, I
He's ready
really
to do
want a ride on the e-foil.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I've been watching the company. The company that makes these is Lift. So they manufacture them in Puerto Rico. They're a bunch of top class engineers. They've been field testing these things for a long time in the big surf out in Puerto Rico. And I stayed in contact with them, and they came and interviewed me last Labor Day weekend. They wanted to, get a local guy to promote them, and then they ended up awarding me the boards. And
Nice. Is it like a telepathic connection? How do you actually get them to move?
Well, it almost seems like it, but you have a little Bluetooth controller in your hand.
Man, the future's crazy.
I know.
That's next. That's like next year, 2022 version.
It's a 30-pound battery that goes in the thing. So it's got a computer inside it. There's actually a computer in the battery pack as well to keep everything in sync. There's several hundred lithium-ion cells in that pack, and the torque on that thing is unbelievable. I mean,
Wow.
I'm a pretty big guy, and it's no problem getting me up out of the water. Yeah.
But when you start, obviously you're not 3 feet above. You start in the water,
Yeah.
on the water, and then as speed increases, it just kind of lifts up.
So you start in the water, you go from your stomach to your knees to your feet, and then when you have enough momentum, you kind of lean back and then engage that wing, just like an airplane wing. And as soon as you get the right angle, it'll lift up out of the water, and then you gotta level it off.
Man, I am not doing that, but that sounds like something Aaron
dude.
should be doing.
You know what?
I'm coming
that
back
should
another
be
day. I mean, I weigh 250 pounds. Can it
Good.
handle me?
I had Bert. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna
Bert
butcher it.
Kreischer.
Yep, Bert Kreischer.
Epic
on it.
shouts.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer was on this yesterday.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy, and his friend Dave, who's also the other comedian, he's about 6'3", 250. He was charging on it.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
He was
So-
very
I'm coming
impressive.
back.
So tell us a little bit about that. Now, I knew that, Bert Kreischer is a comedian, nationally known, big guy,
Right.
big star. He's one of the first comedians, or I should say the only comedians, aside from him and, say, Jim Gaffigan, to get on a tour bus or do a tour where they're actually playing drive-ins. I knew about this. Obviously, I couldn't go. I got a little baby at home and a wife that loves me and lets me do stuff like this. So, I got to, compromise a little bit, so I couldn't obviously go out and party and watch Bert Kreischer, but
Right.
he was playing at Monmouth Park.
Monmouth Park, yeah.
And drive in, people pull in with their cars, socially distant, very safe. You get a call yesterday from somebody, and or 2 days. When did you get the call?
Well, I got a text from his agent who is stationed in Colorado a couple days ago and saying, hey, I want to set up this foil session, and here's the deal. You know, there's a couple of them. They're very limited on time, and they're comedians. And I said, oh, this sounds pretty interesting. And so we just went back and forth, and they basically drove through the night, took a nap.
Crazy.
And then they met me over at the end of Portapeck Ave. There's a nice little beach there, and we had it all staged up for them with some paddleboards, kayaks, and then these things, and we had a great time. The guys were awesome. Like, I am a huge... He's very popular. I'm a lot older than I look. I'm just going to tell you right now, but he's very popular with the younger crowd, like this guy here. And I watched his stuff the night before, and I'm a big fan. And after seeing the live show, the guy is a genius. He's
onto something with this.
He's so funny.
You know, as you know, we were talking about like what a better socially distant setup you have here. You're kind of along those same lines as like this is kind of the perfect setting to be out safely, socially distant. We're outdoors, obviously.
Right.
Let's hear about, Chris, your like origin story. How did this come to be? How did you get interested in paddleboarding to the fact that you have, you know, an awesome company with a really cool logo set up?
Thank you.
Right on the water here. How did this all happen?
So I've been a surfer since I was a little kid. My dad got me introduced to the sport. And the thing with being a New Jersey surfer is, you know, we don't always have waves. I mean, the past couple of years have been good. We've been having waves consistently. But there were times where it was just flat. And I don't really like to exercise at all. I really enjoy sitting on the couch and eating potato chips. It's one of my favorite things to do. So one summer without surfing and doing that all the time, I started to realize, wow, I'm really getting out of shape. So I called up my buddy who made my surfboards. I said, make me one of these paddle boards. So we're going about 15 years ago. And so he just made me a really big surfboard. And I was living in Long Branch at the time on the Shrewsbury River. So I just started paddling and just exploring. And I love the whole nature aspect and exploring the creeks and seeing the birds. And then I started logging my paddle. I was like, oh my God, I just did 5 miles, just 7 miles,
whoa,
15 miles. I'm like, whoa. And then I just started like losing weight, getting in shape, feeling better. I'm like, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm exercising, but I don't even realize I am.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about that. Like, you know, I saw some kid the other day, and I am getting older, because I saw this kid going down the road on like one of those electric one-wheel things, and I'm like, cheese and crackers, man. Like, get on something, walk, or like get on a bicycle, shaking my fist, telling him to get off my lawn and stuff like that.
At least he's not on an electric bike. I mean.
I mean, all that stuff, it's like you're just kind of, you know, standing. And on that note, like, I'm like, oh, paddleboards, you're just kind of standing. But it's got to be a lot of work to, like, get to where you want to be, you know?
Yeah, so, you know, it's always, you know, even when you're at rest and you're standing still, your core is constantly adjusting. It's a great way to explore, see the sights. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't make you think you're exercising. As soon as I think that I'm exercising, it's over. You know, it's like, I could be doing, you know, so much more. But it got me in shape. And I actually discovered this on a paddle one day. I came back, and that's when it was a vacant marina. I'm like, wow, this is a great spot. Like, and I've been doing surf camps and private surf instruction for years. I'm like, I would really love to do a program here. When this place, the Marina Oceanport, the restaurant's awesome over here, you got to check it out.
Yes.
When that place opened up, they were under contract with someone else. I can't mention names. But what happened was, he wasn't doing anything. And I met the owner. I said, I want to do programs here. I want to do community stuff. I want to get the kids involved. And he looked at me and goes, you think it would work? I'm like, absolutely. So I wrote up a proposal. And he said, all right, when this guy's contract is up, I'll give you a shot.
Wow.
A couple months before his contract expired, he called me. He said, you ready? And I'm like, what, ready? Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, let's go. Like, rock and roll.
Put the potato chips down. It's time to paddle, people.
So how has this summer of COVID been for the OPC?
Yeah.
So, yeah, people are like, man, you really built a good business. I said, I think COVID had a lot to do with it. So, I mean, we grow every year, and, you know, we have fun here, and we get a lot of people involved, but I cannot
the guy that doesn't know how to turn his ringer off. I mean,
I cannot.
We're professionals here,
rule
people.
number one, people.
As you can see, I'm not a businessman. That's why I'm giving COVID the credit for the success of this season, because it really is. It's a perfect socially distanced sport. The whole family can get involved. I have people that I grew up with. They're standing behind us. They bring their kids, and the community has been so supportive of the business. My entire family works here. It's a family business.
It's cool.
And I am definitely living the dream. I'm a teacher. That's my main occupation. So everyone's like, teachers get their summers off. That's so cool. I've never had a summer off in my life. I have 3 children and a wife who I love my family dearly, but teaching salary does not really provide for.
It's too bad.
So
can we go into the teaching conversation? Do we know what September's bringing? Like, you going back? You going virtual?
So
paddling just into the ocean.
Should we rewind and ignore the last 27 seconds?
Well, there is a schedule, and I don't know if I believe it, because I'll see right before. I have a feeling the state might throw a little something at us.
Curveball.
I don't know.
I
We'll
hope
see.
not.
But
For
I'm
my
ready.
children's sake, I hope
For
not.
your sake, Aaron.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, for my sake.
For your sanity.
I want your kids back in school because I want my kids back in school. Let's hope that things get back to normal for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, this is it just kind of works out. It kind of dovetails nicely with the traditional quote unquote normal school year.
Right.
You're teaching kids, they're, throwing, paper airplanes around and stuff. June comes, gets restless. You get out, and then you get to pick this up to where it's like, beautiful weather, you're outside.
Right.
It doesn't really normally doesn't really conflict with the whole teaching year.
No.
So that's pretty perfect.
And I bring a lot of those skills over that I've learned in the teaching profession. We do have a kids program here. I actually do get a lot of my students to come and sign up for it. This thing has been a great community builder, and to do these types of things that
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Gina.
It's live.
We're live. We're live.
National.
You want some kind of a podcast or something? We're just practicing. We're doing a Temptations cover band. We're going to work on the dance moves later. Right now, we're just trying to harmonize.
Again, we could sit here all night.
I know.
And just look at these cameras that are staring at us and just keep talking.
But yeah, this is, it's really, and the kids that work for me are awesome. There's all local kids. And they're learning so many great skills, how to deal with people, how to be good people. And really, that's what our whole thing is here. When people come here, we want them to feel special and leave here saying, you know what, I want to be part of this. This is awesome.
Great.
Our sign out there, dude, I don't know if you saw the little blue arrow.
I didn't see it. What's that?
So sometimes I have to remind some people. They come in here a little stressed out. It says positive vibes only. So I'm like,
That's right.
Did you see the sign?
You're not allowed in without the positive.
Can't get out on the river without positive vibes.
Absolutely.
What?
There's jellyfish out there.
Yeah. So I'm kind of itching to get on one of these boards. Is it? Am I gonna listen? I am awkward in probably all situations, but I'm not gonna fall off this paddle board right? It's like pretty easy to. It's like a coffee table. Like what are we dealing with here?
Have you surfed on the coffee table? Are you good with the coffee table?
I haven't.
Lauren, where are you?
I'd probably be better on a coffee table than a normal surfboard.
I think a coffee table is a little more unstable. You're going to be totally fine.
All right, good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool.
We'll take care of you.
Good to know. Good to know. What do you think? Are we ready to do this?
I'm pumped. I'm ready to get on the river, do some socially distant networking with the crew that's arriving right now. It's a great day, Chris. Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it.
This is great, Chris. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing here. I love, like I said, that's what the podcast is all about. Local businesses, entrepreneurs, and colorful characters. And you checked all 3 of those boxes. Some people don't, but you've actually done that. So congratulations.
Thank you. And can I just give a shout out to some of my sponsors here?
Yes, do it.
All right, Gatorade, thank you. Cliff Bar and Lift E-Foils. You guys are awesome.
Lift E-Foils.
Yeah, Lift E-Foils. Beautiful product.
Yeah, the Cliff Bars are delicious. What were they, like some kind of latte, coffee?
So they have.
That's what gave me a little pep.
You forgot to eat lunch?
I didn't eat lunch. All I had was a Cliff Bar. I feel great.
65 milligrams of caffeine in there. And I came back and all my employees were jittery one day. I'm like, They're like, oh my God, we didn't know we did all this caffeine in here. I'm like, oh, guys.
Yes.
So
it's good for you, though. And I
got my money's
hydrated.
worth out of them that day for sure.
That's it.
Well, Aaron, as always, congratulations. You've done it. This is beautiful.
We're
Aaron
here.
Levine,
Let's do it
LG
again.
Insurance, all day, every day. Chris from Oceanport Paddle Club, thank you so much for hosting this, having us here. As always, Ming Chen, Shared Universe Podcast Studio. I hope the studio is up and running. It is? All right, good. The studio's up and running, so book your show now because I'm going to be in there very soon, back in the studio. I want to do more stuff there. It's been too long. Thank you, everybody. Follow Totally Local Podcast on Instagram, totally_local_podcast. If you guys don't know, Totally Local is also on YouTube, so subscribe to that. And Facebook, which is where most of the people are. Find us on Facebook. Just search Totally Local Podcast, and my head will pop up, and I'll say, "Hey, how's it going?" Like the page, and then you'll see all the new videos. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kevin from Coldwell Bank for coming in, talking about real estate. Everybody, enjoy the rest of the day, get some sun, and have some fun. Peace out.